Hey everyone, welcome back to my craft room. If you're new here, my name is Enid. In today's video, I'm gonna begin work on my first journal of 2024. And basically what it's gonna be is a journal where I'm gonna just over a period of time be trying different techniques because I'm not like a frilly person. Like I've always been pretty I don't know how to describe it, but symmetry has been like important in my life. Like everything has to be kind of perfect, and junk journaling, in my opinion, is an imperfect hobby. And the more imperfect it is, the better it looks. So I want to try to develop that skill. And so I'm going to start today with the cover. And I'm just going to show you another little project that I've been working on, and we'll get started. Okay, so sit tight and I'll be right back. So in one of my earlier ephemera stash building videos, I made a couple of masterboards, and after I made these two, this is, I think, the first one I made, and then this was probably the second one I made. After I made those two, I went on to make 4 more. So this is the third. This one is pretty similar to the third. And then I made this one. And finally, I made this one. And I think I really like this one, and I want to use it for the cover of my journal. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down to fit my signature, which is going to be 8.5 by 11. So the height of the signature is going to be 8.5 by 5.5 when you fold it in half. And so my cover has to be 9 inches tall and 12 inches wide, but I want to give it a spine of about a quarter inch. And so this isn't going to be wide enough to do that. So I'm going to cut it at 9, and then I'm going to cut 2 6-inch pieces out of it. And then I'm gonna use ribbon to cover that quarter inch gap in the spine. So that should work out pretty well. And the way that I'm gonna achieve that quarter inch spine is by using a manila folder. So this is really gonna be the base for my my cover. And you know how the manila folders have these pre-scored lines in them? So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to use the first line of a quarter inch. And I'm going to fold that. Well, this is not scored very well. But anyway, I'm going to score that. I'm going to use my bone folder to burnish it. Hold on. This is not a very good quality folder, so it's kind of cracking at the edge, but that'll be fine. It'll be covered. And then let me burnish this side of it. Okay. So now I'm going to take my trimmer. And I'm going to use my old trimmer because I'm having issues with my shoulder. I got a cortisone shot today and it hasn't fully kicked in. And so to put that down pressure on the rotary cutter is going to be problematic for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this one. So I'm going to put the first fold of the spine on the 6-inch marker here, and I'm gonna cut. Okay, then I'm gonna turn it around and I'm gonna put this side of the fold on the 6-inch line. I hope you can see that. Sorry. So that's on the 6-inch line, the second fold of the spine. Making sure it's on 6-inch on the top and bottom. Then I'm gonna cut this. So now I have my 6 inches on either side with a 1/4 inch spine. Then I'm gonna cut this to 9. Ow, that even hurts to do that. So, all right, so I'm gonna put this at 9. And this is gonna be the base for my cover. So here I have my cover, and I'm gonna put these 2 pieces of scrap aside. Then I'm gonna bring in my cover. Let me see, what do I want? I want this big butterfly on it, so this is gonna be my bottom. So I'm gonna cut this at 9. In fact, I'm gonna cut it a little, just like maybe 1/8 of an inch bigger than 9 in case I can't line it up right, and it'll give me a little bit of, oh no! I cut off my butterfly, but that's okay. I'll use it as a pocket. Not paying attention. Anyway, 6 inches. All right, so here goes my 6 inches. So this is gonna be my front and back of the journal. This will be my front and this will be my back. So I'm done with this right now. Put it back. Oh my God, I can't believe I cut off my butterfly. Oh well, these are gonna be 2 pockets. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue these pieces on with my art glitter glue. And this is going to be like my preferred method of making journal covers. So at some point I'm going to make a few of these manila folder panels and just have them in my stock at the ready. So, and I can always refer any new viewers to this video or my Christmas journal video shows how I made this cover. So, and it worked out really well for me for that journal. So I'm just gonna, like I said, have a few of these at the ready. That way I can expedite my journal making process. So here I'm gonna line it up with the crease, and I'm gonna try to slide this up. Come on, Enid, you cut it 1/8 of an inch longer so you wouldn't have this problem, and you did it anyway. All right, anyway, so here we go. So this is the cover of my journal, and what I like about this for the cover is I've got this nice paper top and bottom, and then this is, you know, plain, relatively plain here, where I can put some sort of topper once I decide what that topper is going to be. Okay, so that's my front. Let me glue on my back. And I forgot one step in the process, but I can do it on the inside. And I'll show you what that is when I get there. Yeah, So when I made my first version this way, I put a piece of packaging tape along the spine just to give it some support, some strength. And I forgot to do that just now, so I can still put the packaging tape on the inside. That's not a big deal. And then let me put this on here. And again, I'm gonna line it up with the crease. And let me burnish these down. Oh, this piece of paper came up where I cut it. It was just a little piece of the music paper, so I'll just glue it. Yeah, all right. So that's glued back down. Ah, that hurts. Sorry. I can't put pressure on my arm. So it's funny because I've had I had a shoulder injury in a car accident like 45 years ago almost, and the left side of my it was a spinal and shoulder injury, and so I had spinal surgery, and it took almost like 2 years for me to feel some sort of relief and be able to use my shoulder, you know, not 100%, but now my left shoulder's feeling pretty good and my right shoulder's acting up, so it's like I can't win. And the right shoulder, what happened is about maybe a month ago, I fell down the flight of stairs, and I don't know what happened. I completely missed the first step, and I went up in the air, and my shoulder hit the stairs. Like as I fell, my shoulder blade hit the stairs, and it gradually started hurting. It's been hurting me for a bit now, but in the last week or two, it's really come to, you know, the point where the pain was getting a little bit unbearable. So I went to see an orthopedic today, and gave me a cortisone shot, but the shot hasn't fully kicked in yet, and my shoulder is still pretty much in a lot of pain. So putting downward pressure on it is not, you know, I'm trying not to do so much of that. So anyway, this is what I was telling you, the step that I missed on the front. So I'm just going to put this piece of tape to give my spine a little bit of strength. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And it'll get covered up when I put whatever I put on the inside to make the other side of the cover. So this is pretty much what my cover is going to look like on the outside. And then I'm going to stitch around it. And like I said, I'm going to put ribbon on the outside of it. And I'm thinking of using this ribbon. It's a 1-inch ribbon, and I think that'll cover that up nicely. And it won't be overwhelming. So I'll go ahead and do that now. I'm just going to trim it. And like I said, this particular journal is going to be for me to practice techniques in. And, you know, this hurts. Just practice techniques and stop being so OCD and just let go and do whatever comes to mind. So this is hurting, putting pressure on the glue. Anyway, so I fell down the stairs in my house. It was crazy. Totally didn't expect it. And, you know, initially, like, it hurt, but then it kind of subsided. And, like, now all of a sudden, it's just really hurting a lot. So this is nice, this ribbon, because it has like these circles, which I can kind of line up in that 1/4 inch section. You really probably can't see that, but I can see it here. So that'll ensure that the spine is pretty straight. And then when I stitch it, it'll stay firmly in place. And I may have to put a little bit of glue, like on these outer edges. Let me turn it around and do this side. This side seems to be better adhered. And I think when I stitch it, I might do like in a light color thread, like a single stitch, a straight stitch on the side, on each side of the ribbon, and it'll be a light color, so you really won't be able to detect that it's there. And then I'll probably do a zigzag around the perimeter of the cover. So where's the cover to my glue? I never put the cover on my art glitter glue. Let me put that on there. Let me get it. Yeah. So that's it. Then let me get my large scissors so I could trim the excess off that ribbon off. God, that hurts, pulling that cover off. So this is the outside cover. Then I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do on the inside. I don't know if I should use one of the other master boards that I used, or to just put a piece of cardstock. Let me see. I don't have another master board to match this one, so if I use another one of the master boards, it's gonna have to be like one of these really plain ones. And this is like really straight edges, and this is torn edges, so that's not really gonna match. All my neutral ones are straight edges. The only other torn edge one is the one with pink and blue, and that's not gonna match. So let me find a page really quick from the same Yeah, maybe I'll use one of these green ones. Maybe I'll use this. I think I've already used up the butterflies. Oh wait, I have one more. Two more. Should I use the butterflies or the neutral green one? I think I'm gonna use the neutral green one. Oh, and I have this one. But I still use the neutral green one, this one, to keep it simple. And then I can use some of the butterfly images inside of the journal on different pieces of ephemera. So again, I'm gonna have to cut this down into a 9-inch. And this has these like there's these darker edges, so I'm just gonna take off and leave the darker edges on the side. So now I'm gonna cut this. This is 1. Turn it this way and put this at 9 and cut off this dark section, and then I'll have the darker edges on the sides. So now this has to be cut into 2 6-piece panels. And let me put this away. And then I wonder if I should use some of this in the center. We'll see. So let me glue these on. And let me fold this so I can get my bearings on where that line is for the glue. And here we go, gluing. And like I said, I'm gonna stitch. So my gluing doesn't have to be that great, but I'm gonna put a little bit extra on the tape. And then I'm gonna try to get this to the edge of the crease. And up and over. Let me see if I can fold that. Yep. And then let me do this side. Oh, man. I'm gonna feel this later when I go to sleep. When I fell, my son was here and he was at the bottom of the stairs and he saw me falling, and all he could do was stand there and yell, "Mom!" And like, when I landed and everybody realized like I was okay, I didn't break a bone, we were just all hysterical laughing. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with SpongeBob and the starfish Patrick. But he said my arms and legs were like spread out and I looked like Patrick Starfish. And we were just dying laughing. I mean, he didn't mean to be mean or everything, but at that point we kind of determined I was okay. And you know, when things like that happen, you just have to laugh about it. If not, you'll cry. So when he came out and said that I looked like Patrick Starfish, that was hilarious. But we just laughed and laughed and laughed. It was so funny. It's not feeling so funny now. So, but like I said, that's what it is. So over here I have like a definite overlaps, which I'm going to trim. And over here as well. So I'm just going to trim those edges, and I kind of shot myself in the foot a bit by going ahead and putting the ribbon on first. But because I can't trim the bottom now with the trimmer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of Fabri-Tac on my finger. And I'm just gonna rub it on the edge of the ribbon and kind of rub it down. And I find that that kind of helps it like not to fray. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I have to refill my Fabri-Tac. Is when I initially bought my first bottle of Fabri-Tac, I bought the 8-ounce bottle and it was kind of cumbersome to work with. So then I ordered this 4-ounce bottle, and I still have, you know, the majority of that 8-ounce bottle is full. So I'm just gonna refill this bottle with that until the larger one is done. And I don't know why it's not wanting to come out now. Okay, I've got some. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing over here. And just kind of put some on here. And like I said, I find that doing this keeps the ribbon from fraying. Like it gets it hard. So I'm just gonna trim my 2 side edges. See, this could stand with a little bit of trimming, but I'll link that and that should be fine. So, yeah. I mean, we're still laughing about SpongeBob and it's almost a month later. So, anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. The thought popped into my mind. It was hilarious. And this is my 35-year-old son, mind you. No, he's 36. And he's referring to SpongeBob, which made it all the more funny. Oh my God. I think I took a little bit more than I wanted to off of this side, so yeah, but that won't really be noticeable. Yeah. So I have to figure out what I'm gonna put here, and maybe I'll just go ahead and cover it with this. Should I cover it with this? But the whole purpose of cutting these off was because the edges were dark. What this one is lighter, so what I'm gonna do, again, I'm gonna take the dark edge off here, cut this to 9. And then make this about 1 inch. And then I'm just going to use that. Get that out of the way. And then I'm just going to put glue here first. And then I'll run glue down the sides. And let me try to kind of center this. Oh, let me put this where you could see. I'm trying to get that centered. And I flip it this way so I can see. Yeah, that's pretty centered. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the sides and I'm going to run a bead of glue down the side. So I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit. I mean, the glue should be mostly dry because the art glitter sets up really quick. I'm going to take this to the machine and sew it, and I'll be right back. This is my completed cover. Next video will be the signatures. I think I'm gonna put 2 signatures in this journal, and I'll do a template and mark up the locations for the holes, and we'll sew the signatures in and hopefully do the pockets as well. So you'll see how that turned out. And so we'll have a completed journal ready to decorate. And I'm pretty happy with how even this turned out, this ribbon. I couldn't have asked for it to turn out any better, any more even. And I didn't put anything underneath it, like paper, like I did over here. But I think that's okay because the color totally matches the manila folder underneath. And it coordinates well with this. And so I'm very happy with how this turned out, except for that. I did pretty good sewing all around. And when I got to the end, for whatever reason, it got away from me and veered to the side. So all of the stitching is pretty evenly spaced, except for when you get to this corner, which is right at the very top, at the very front, the most visible place it could have happened, it happened. But that's the way that it is. So here's my finished cover. Oh, and I got ahead of myself again with something else. I do want to put pockets in the inside. But what I should have done was glued in those pockets before I stitched it. That way it would have been one continuous stitch. But what I'll do is I'll do the same zigzag on the pocket and hopefully try to align it as best as I can with these outer ones so that it'll look kind of seamless, and then the bottom will be seamless. And then it'll have the coordinating zigzag up on the top. So I think I can pull it off. So that's what I'll do. And so if you want to stick by for another little project that I worked on this week, just hang in there. I went to Hobby Lobby today in search of a jar for my buttons, and I found this little white jar, this glass jar with a white lid, and I want to try to jazz it up a bit by putting buttons on the top of it. So I figured I'd give that a go, and I'm just gonna start by putting random buttons wherever they wind up. Oh. What I think I'm just gonna pick up the buttons, glue them, and put them wherever, and burn myself while I'm at it. I'll probably fast forward so you don't have to see me struggle with each button, and then I'll show you the final result. This is how the lid turned out. Let me see if you can see it. I think it looks pretty cute. I'm gonna put it on my jar of buttons, and let me kind of zoom you guys back out a bit. And this is my jar of buttons now. I didn't have one, and now I do. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think it looks cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching me make the cover for my new technique journal, and enjoyed the extra little project I threw in at the end. As always, if you enjoyed the content, please like, share, subscribe, and press that notification bell so you won't miss any of my future videos. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.